So that's probably how I grew up thinking. But I will, to your point, if Cam Ward said that, like he was on that show and said that, it would sound crazy.
It sounds crazy from him.
Why wasn't Cam Ward in the Pro Bowl?
Well,
did he reject? He had to be a choice over Shedeur.
Well, I'm just wondering how, like,
I think
I can only guess guys just rejected it.
No, I think just to be they have the 3 guys that are named, then they have 3 official alternates, and they don't have a list after that. So then I think they just call, you know,
like whoever answers.
Well, I mean, whoever they
like
pick it out of a hat.
Yeah, and so it's because they did.
Burrow, good. Flacco. Yeah.
They didn't go down. They didn't go down a list and get no's from everyone who would have been ahead of Shedeur.
They should. I mean, it's bad as it is. That wouldn't even be good. But that would make more sense than random.
Doesn't he have bragging rights now over his dad? Didn't he make the Pro Bowl before Deion did?
Absolutely. I feel a strong need to center Cam Ward in this particular dialogue. The commentary suggests that if Cam Ward had made a similar statement, the reaction would be one of disbelief. Yet, the reality is that Shedeur Sanders commands a massively disproportionate share of media hype, attention, and discourse, while Cam Ward operates in relative obscurity. This discrepancy exists despite Ward conducting himself impeccably, articulating the right sentiments, and demonstrating unwavering dedication. It's somewhat disheartening that a player of his caliber receives notably less spotlight. Consequently, I aim to redirect some focus his way, though it presents a challenge. Producing content centered on the Tennessee Titans historically garners limited viewership. I am genuinely committed to amplifying coverage for teams that languish in the media's peripheral vision. Therefore, Titans supporters, I have a request. Please watch this video in its entirety and consider subscribing. When you engage by watching fully and subscribing, it generates substantial metrics. Views and subscriber counts increase dramatically. This places me in an optimal position to justify creating more Tennessee Titans-focused analysis. I operate with finite time and energy as a solo creator. If I dedicate effort to a Titans video that only attracts a modest audience, it becomes a difficult enterprise to sustain. Your viewership and active participation fundamentally alter that equation. When you show up, watch, and contribute to genuine, unbiased discussions in the comments, it empowers me to produce the Titans content I genuinely wish to make. That freedom is invaluable. I've successfully cultivated this dynamic with a few other fan bases, and it's incredibly rewarding. I've reached a point where I can spontaneously decide I'm making a Jacksonville Jaguars video today, or persevere through initial struggles as I did with Seattle Seahawks coverage until it found its footing. My ambition is to replicate this with the Tennessee Titans. This present moment serves as a perfect illustration. We are embroiled in an extensive conversation about Shedeur Sanders, when our collective emphasis should be on highlighting Cam Ward. The very notion that Sanders would receive a Pro Bowl nod over Ward is frankly staggering. Ward has shown consistent, tangible improvement, and I am eagerly anticipating the Titans' strategic direction this coming season. Every utterance from Cam Ward reflects the ideal mindset. It's profoundly impressive. Consider his comment on offensive coordinator Brian Daboll. He's going to hold me to a high standard. That may sound like a simple, almost trivial statement. However, I've engaged in numerous debates with various fan bases regarding the concept of accountability. I once erred by suggesting the Baltimore Ravens needed a coach capable of holding Lamar Jackson accountable. Review that video's comment section, and you'll witness the ensuing discontent. Contrast that with Cam Ward's attitude, which is essentially, bring on that accountability. Now juxtapose that with Shedeur Sanders' declaration, I proved to myself I'm able to dominate the league. The difference is night and day. The humility and workmanlike focus Cam Ward embodies is something I deeply admire. His statement about having a coach like Daboll who will listen to me and give me feedback from the film room to the field and put his game plan in each and every week. That's why I'm excited to be heard by him, and it's going to get some wins for us, demonstrates a mature, collaborative outlook. I recall when Ward proactively sought a meeting with veteran coach Greg Olsen, asking, "What do you see? Anything that I need to work on?" That is the epitome of approaching someone hat in hand, eager to learn. Olsen was reportedly taken aback. Here was the #1 overall pick, Cam Ward, seeking wisdom from him, a sentiment of, "Who am I? I'm just some guy." That level of humility is extraordinary. Yet such narratives are chronically underreported. They deserve emphasis, which is precisely what I'm attempting to do here, though I find the general neglect immensely frustrating. I am genuinely enthusiastic about the direction under head coach Robert Saleh and OC Brian Daboll. The moves the Tennessee Titans are executing inspire optimism, and I'm keen to observe their strategy in the upcoming draft and free agency. I cannot wait to witness Cam Ward's development in his sophomore season. The sheer fact that he endured and survived his rookie campaign was, in itself, a significant accomplishment. I held a similar sentiment regarding Caleb Williams last year entering this season. While I won't equate Brian Daboll to an offensive savant like Ben Johnson, or claim the Titans roster is presently superior to Chicago's, I fully anticipate a substantial leap forward from Ward. Cam Ward has, to a concerning degree, become an afterthought in league discourse. How frequently was he or the Titans genuinely discussed? One can understand the Titans' lack of headlines given their previous season's narrative, but Ward was the first overall selection, a quarterback, and yet the volume of discussion paled in comparison to that surrounding Shedeur Sanders. This disparity underscores my point. I firmly believe the future is exceptionally bright for both Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans. Small segments like this remind me why it's so effortless to champion Ward. I originally began a clip focused on Shedeur Sanders, discussing themes of humility and hard work, and midway through, I had an epiphany. Why are we not applying this conversation to Cam Ward? The answer, of course, was that mainstream channels weren't, so I resolved to be the one to do it. I'm going to discuss Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans. I am pragmatically aware this video likely won't achieve viral numbers. I sincerely hope the Titans fanbase rallies, watches the full video, and subscribes, as that genuinely makes a monumental difference. However, I'm also realistic that this content might peak at a few hundred views, especially being released midweek during the off-season. Nevertheless, I am determined to persist in fostering the conversations I deem valuable. Too often, we fail to elevate the genuinely positive, process-oriented stories. When Cam Ward was drafted, my immediate thought was, he is the exact archetype of quarterback you want to see succeed. His is the kind of narrative that should be celebrated and amplified within the NFL ecosystem. These are the stories that resonate with me on a deeper level, more so than the constant cycle surrounding Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, or even personal news about a player like Josh Allen starting a family. This matters more. It holds more substantive weight than dissecting Shedeur Sanders' post-preseason game media interactions. In a 24/7 sports media landscape, there's theoretically time to cover everything. But as an individual creator, I strive to curate discussions that possess inherent worth, while also aligning, as best I can, with what audiences desire to watch and engage with. That's the fundamental balance. It disappoints me that the algorithmic incentive often lies in producing content like, let's discuss Shedeur Sanders' speeding ticket, which prompts an internal, why? I recall during last summer's Sanders discourse, I explicitly asked my audience in a video, do you still want me to cover this? Because I'm not particularly interested, but I will if it's what you want to watch. That's my guiding principle, creating content you, the audience, want to consume. Yet, it's regrettable that I even have to weigh the merit of such topics. I shouldn't have to contemplate, I don't care about this, but it drives engagement. There are enough individuals who should care about Cam Ward's emergence, his ascent, and I want to be a voice for that narrative. I am eagerly looking forward to this winter, spring, summer, and ultimately the fall, where we can engage in more substantive, success-oriented conversations about Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans. I have sincere belief in the organizational steps they've taken, particularly in their coaching hires. I believe in Cam Ward. I am excited to see what Brian Daboll devises for him. I anticipate a highly motivated Daboll, operating with creative freedom unburdened by the overarching pressures of a head coaching role, able to collaborate effectively with a quarterback who is demonstrably receptive. That willingness to learn and grow is a monumental component of success. I've stated that for Caleb Williams to reach an elite special tier in the NFL, the onus is squarely on him, his receptiveness and willingness to do the necessary work. Cam Ward already exhibits that quality unequivocally. The question is no longer about his mindset. It's about surrounding him with the appropriate pieces and coaching to facilitate that ascent. The Titans appear to be taking those deliberate steps, perhaps at a pace slower than some would prefer, but the trajectory is undoubtedly positive. That to me is a source of genuine excitement. But those are merely my perspectives. I am absolutely eager to hear yours. What are all of your thoughts on Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans? Consider both the recent organizational moves in their coaching staff, and more pointedly, Ward's overall approach, mentality, and public demeanor, his sound bites, especially when contrasted with a figure like Shedeur Sanders. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. So, whether you concur with my viewpoint or disagree entirely, let's engage in some discussions. Let's have some spirited debates. But ultimately, let's simply enjoy the conversation. Please consider subscribing. We are building a fantastic community here, and would absolutely love for you to be a part of it. My goal is to foster something we all feel genuinely connected to, something we are excited to participate in. I believe we are well on our path to achieving that. Also, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It genuinely assists with visibility and the platform's algorithm. Thank you so very much. See you next time.